Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. Now this is a Bat Châtillon 155-58, the tier 10 French SPG, and we're located on the east spawn of Arctic region. This is the recreation of the Mannheim line, and the commander of this tank is Bounce-A-Lot. Yes, it does sound exactly as I said it. Well, battle has commenced, and the Bat Chat 155-58 setting off into the bushes. Now, he's got 3 shots in his magazine at any one time. 155mm howitzer. It's a fast Arty as well, and he's just now setting up to fire. Looking for targets at the pass. Now, he's hoping one of his teammates is going to spot tanks going through the pass, but there's nobody down that way to have a look and see them. But he has found an RU-251, and we're waiting for the gun to swing round. It has. And that RU-251 is not going to go too fast up that slope, because if he does, he will be exposed to fire from people in grid square A5. He's just relocated a little to avoid counter battery. He's now extending his aim. He's looking at a T10. He's got 2 more rounds to fire. T10 is just down at the pass, and he splashes him, but only gets 2 critical hits. He's got 1 more round left, and that's Conqueror. Looks as if he's going to go into the dip, but round out on him. Oh, he got a hit! 233 hit points, 2 critical hits, and he's relocating. Now he's got to go through his load cycle. Right, in the meanwhile, he's just going to be just found himself a new firing position to go from, and he's going to have a look and see which target he's going to go for next. There's a T110E4. There's that Conqueror. Got a hit into that. Oh, that Conqueror just took a big hit, and the Conqueror's out of the game, so he doesn't need to consider that. But the E4 is going to go into defilade very shortly. Yeah, he is into cover now, so we can't hit that. He could hit the T10. He's loaded, ready to go. Round out. Splashes nearby the T10, but it doesn't do any damage to him. There's a T28 prototype there, but he's now gone into defilade and is unspotted. Okay, there are some targets down the heavy pass area, or the heavy the ice road area, or the waterfront, and he managed to get a hit on the IS-3 for 172, and he's got 1 more round to fire and 2 targets to fire at. Well, no, 1 target to fire at now, and M103. And he splashes the M103 for 128 hit points, 2 critical hits, and he's relocating. Now, he did knock over both of those sets of logs, and he did the right thing to actually knock them both over, because it won't then draw attention to the fact that just one set has been knocked over. If the enemy Arty is looking for any sign of Arty, they'll see both knocked over. They'll assume that one vehicle went over them and is headed off in a different direction. At least I hope that's what he intended. Okay, now they formed a firing line with a Lurver and a T110E5. He's almost ready to go. I think he's going to use that wreck to bounce the splash off. But note, they've pulled away. But now he's got more tanks to fire at. An IS-3, the same one he hit earlier, and the T10. Now, round out on T10, big hit, 199 right to the side. He stunned him, that's helpful. That T10's about to get a rude awakening though, because the IS-3's coming up behind him. He fires around him, which stuns all the tanks ahead of that T10. The Lurver, the T110E5 and the M103. Fires another round at the Lurver, but he just splashes them. Okay, he's relocating. I'm going to say the Bat Chat 155-58 is one of the fastest Artys in the game. Not the fastest, that's the Burt, but it's still very fast because it's built on the hull of a Bat Chat 25. They did go ahead and build the prototypes, but they never actually went into production. And I'm going to stop him bouncing around like that, because some top players have this tendency to do that when they're playing, and it really is disconcerting for the general public when watching the replays. You wonder what they're up to. Anyway, he's almost loaded. So he's now found his new firing position. And we've joined him again on his view. And we can see that T-28 prototype now. And he's zeroing in. But it's in defilade. So he had a quick look there for the Lorraine. But he's decided instead to go for the Scorpion G on the far side. But we've lost sight of it. There he is. Okay, now he can do a lot of damage to this Scorpion G. Lining him up. Round out. Oh, right into the side of him. 297. Looks like it tracked him temporarily, but he untracked himself. And next round's loaded. Next round's out. Another direct hit. 338 this time, and he can't undo his track. He's a sitting duck for the next round. Round out. Oh, it only stunned him. Now, there are enemy in the cap. But Bounce the Lot's headed. He's headed west. Now, I wonder why he's doing this. He's bouncing around again. Maybe that's why he got his name Bounce a Lot, because he keeps bouncing his view. You can see the reticule bouncing in and out. Now, I think actually I do tend to recognise that some players have a tendency with their mouse to do that sort of thing. Bat Chat 155.58 the other side, and it's a one-shot kill, 490 hit points, takes him out the game. And there's the Scorpion G that he fired at earlier. Oh, and he's just killed himself and took out the T-49 in the process. Now, the enemy doesn't appear to be capping. They might be doing a kill, no cap, kill all, and they're returning to their own cap because they recognise that so Bounce Lot's team are actually at their cap right now and are capping. And I suspect that what Bounce Lot's going to do, well, they're capping now, but it's too late, buddy. It's far too late to try anything. I have a suspicion that this might work. Now, he's the last in the cap, so he's going to have the least cap points. But he's lining up in the centre of these three. And remember, he's got 3 shots. He's waiting for his well, he's got 2 shots, sorry. He's fired a shot into the cap. No, and he was seen. There's an enemy there. Oh, he's just taken out one of his team members, and he's off, and he's bouncing around again. Now, what happened there? I think something happened right at the end of that battle. They capped out, they won, but his teammates were killed at the last second. Let's run that back and have a look again exactly what happened. Yes, they capped out, they completed the cap. And then just after they completed the cap, his teammates were wiped out before the computer could finish the game. And so he's the last man alive. I'll run that back again because it's funny to watch it. Let's have a look. He's firing at his own cap. There, it's registered the capture. It's won. They've won the battle. One teammate gets killed. The other teammate gets killed, so for a brief second he's the only member of his team left alive. And then the game is finished by the wargaming computer. And this is the result. He's got a Kolobanov. The only man left alive at the end after his team capped out. And both his teammates die in the seconds that the computer takes to end the game. And he's the last man alive. He got a Bruiser Medal as well for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 10. And the Kolobanov Medal, the medal that everyone would like to get. Let's have a look at the team scores. Well, he didn't get the highest amount of damage. He came 5th, 1,879 hit points. He didn't get the highest number of kills. He only got 1 kill, but it puts him joint 3rd on that list. And when it came to base XP, he was well down the table with only 443 experience points altogether. He fired 14 rounds, got 6 direct hits, 6 penetration and 8 splash damage. He did damage of 1,879 hit points, all at more than 300 meters. He hit 8 of the enemy but only killed 1 of them, and he caused 13 stuns. He also managed to get 17 capture points while he was in the cap before his team capped out. On a premium account he earned 32,280 credits, and after ammunition resupply and consumables he actually took away a deficit of 3,400 credits. He received 665 XP, and it was ×2 for the first victory of the day, so his total came to 1,330 experience points in total. But the thing is, he actually took away a Kolobanov Medal, and as he said, want to know how to get a Kolobanov Medal in an Arty facing impossible odds? Watch the end bit funny. Well, it was funny because he earned his Kolobanov after the game had ended, after it technically was closing down. And the enemy, well, they may have got 2 kills right at the end, but they didn't kill the last person, and as a consequence to which he ends up with a Kolobanov and wins the battle. So well done there, Bounce a Lot. If you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it will be your replay that we'll be featuring in our next video.